Good day, everybody. This will be the final video for the lab. In this video, we're going to discuss trigonometry, which was something we didn't get to do a whole lot of discussion-wise in lab. We did get to do that pre-lab assignment, but now we're going to have a little more practice with it. And so I'm going to keep with the Minecraft theme since that seems to be what I was doing earlier. And we're going to use some trigonometry to find some things out. And, you could actually do this in Minecraft itself. And it's one of the beautiful things about the game. Um, so you're building a watchtower in Minecraft and you stand 30 blocks away from it. Okay. And the angle of elevation from the ground to the top of the tower is 40 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that in right here. And we'll move that into a better place. All right. And so we have our little character guy standing 30 blocks away. Remember, 30 blocks, or each block equals 1 meter. If you didn't know that, that is a thing. In Minecraft, one block, one side of one block is equal to 1 meter. So one whole block is 1 cubic meter. So you can use trigonometry to identify how tall the tower is. And so if you stand 30 blocks away and the angle of elevation is 40 degrees, well, there's some things that we can do to figure this out. First off, we know if we were practicing before this video that we can label these sides of a triangle. So the longest part of a triangle is called the hypotenuse. Now, in order to identify the other two parts of the triangle, we have to do this relative to some angle. And what that means is we have to know or say that there's an angle, and then we can say that this side is the opposite side of this angle, and this side is the adjacent side to the angle. Okay, I'm going to say that again. This is the opposite side of the triangle, or the opposite side of the angle, and this is the adjacent side of the angle. So now we can flip that and we could say the other way of that. If the angle were to be right here, this is no longer the opposite side of the angle. This is no longer the adjacent. If the angle is right here, this becomes the opposite. This becomes the adjacent. So, with that being said, we have an adjacent length to an angle, which if we look in our lab manual, we can find to get this height or the opposite side, we could use a little bit of trick. And so we're told that 30 meters, which is the adjacent, let's first find the hypotenuse. That's going to be equal to, I'm sorry, let me make this really easy. So we have an adjacent, and that is going to be equal to hypotenuse times cosine of the angle. Let me make this a little easier to see. All right. And so we know our adjacent value. We don't know our hypotenuse. We're just going to call that big H for now. And we know that our angle is it's 40 degrees. So if we use our calculator, we can plug in cosine of 40. And we find that it's 30 equals 0.76 h. So the hypotenuse is going to be equal to 30 divided by 0.76, which is 39.47 meters. Okay, so now let's go ahead and label what we have. This length right here is 39.47 meters. So let me move this out of the way so that way things can start looking better. All right. And so now we can take our hypotenuse and find the opposite side. So in order to do that, we know that the sine from our lab manual, we see that the sine of theta is equal to uh, opposite over hypotenuse. We'll call that big H. Okay, and so we already know our angle, and we already know our H. And what we need to do to find the opposite is multiply both sides by 39.47. And that will give us the height of the tower. Okay, so let me go ahead and make this 100% clear by labeling this side opposite. All right, so now if we take this expression here and we plug this into our calculator, we are going to find that the height is about 25.4 meters, or it would be approximately 26 or 25 blocks. Okay, so now we decide to walk back towards the tower, and we go from 30 meters away to being 20 blocks or 20 meters away. So in order to, and what we want to do is now we want to find out what is our angle from the ground to the top of the tower. So let's keep some of these things. I'm going to erase this up here. Okay, so let me just mark this here. This distance is 20 meters. Oh. We also know that this distance is 25 meters. Give me just a second, I'll place it there properly. So I didn't switch the angle on us. And if you see here, this is the angle that we're trying to calculate. We have an opposite side of the angle and we have an adjacent side of the angle. So we can look in our lab manual to find that the opposite over the adjacent is equal to the tangent of the angle. So on this left-hand side, we have all these values. And that's 25 divided by 20 equals tan of the angle that we're looking for. And just so it's clear, this is this angle right here. All right, and so in your calculator, you want to look for a symbol that looks like this. And inside of it, you want to put this fraction that we just made. Because that's going to leave you oh, let me fix because I'm zoomed in. Let me fix this. Gets a little hairy when you start putting on a lot of equations like this. So, uh, if we plug this into our calculator, we have 25 divided by 20. That gives us 1.25. And then we want to know uh, you may see the inverse tangent button, but there's also the cotangent button. So give me just a second to make sure. Okay, so if you do this operation properly, your angle should come out to be 51.34 degrees. Now, this should make sense. As a sanity check, your angle should not get smaller. If you walk closer to the tower, your angle should get larger. If you walk farther from the tower, your angle should get smaller. But since we're walking closer to the tower in the second problem, our angle needs to be bigger. So when we calculated it, we found out that our angle went from 40 degrees up to 51.34 degrees, which is a 11.34 degree gain over this 10-meter distance we walked. So you can actually do this in Minecraft if you're stuck in survival mode and you know how far away you are from a mountain and you want to know how tall it is without climbing all the way up there. You can use some trigonometry. You can guess the angle within reason and, find yourself using these different methods that we use all over the place. Uh, that's all that we're going to cover in this video. I hope that this helps a lot and that you guys are very successful. Have a great day. I'll see you guys Monday.